You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with
Freedom Train.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, Old Man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on, automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac and never feel powerless.
Welcome, race fans, to the Domino's TYJ Racing Top Shelf Series, live on All Pro Broadcasting. Fans, we have got an incredible race for you tonight. You are not going to believe what you're going to see. We got quite a few surprises for you fans tonight. First of all is our co-commentator tonight in the booth. Helping me out tonight is Tim B. Cox. He is the winner of the June Pocono Premier Xfinity race. Tim B. Cox, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay, Robert. How are you tonight?
I'm doing awesome. Every time I'm in here with a group of my best friends on iRacing and Michael D'Amico with All Pro Broadcasting, life can get better. That's called family time. But right now, it can't get much better. I had the day off, so I am prepared. I'm rested. I'm ready to rock and roll. And the crazy thing is, fans, not only do you get a chance to win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza, which we will give you the details of in just a few minutes, but you're going to see one of the most challenging, exciting, dramatic-filled races you're going to see for Domino's TYJ Racing in a long time. This is Kansas Motor Speedway, and I'm going to let Tim B. Cox go over a couple of quick track facts to kind of explain why this is going to be such a tough track for these very, very talented drivers. Go ahead, Tim.
Kansas Speedway is a 1.5-mile oval. The turns are progressive banked, which is something different that we don't usually see very often. The bottom of the turns are banked at 17 degrees, and the top of the turns actually are banked at 20 degrees. So that's why we're going to be seeing a lot of these guys favor the top line tonight. Even the front stretch is actually progressive banked. 9 degrees at the bottom, 11 degrees at the top, and the back stretch is even banked 5 degrees. So, and we might even also see these guys on the apron on the front stretch here tonight, Robert.
Yes, sir, Tim. I was going to ask you your personal driving experience answer to this question. Even though the front stretch is progressive banking, you just mentioned it, sometimes, maybe with brand new tires, maybe just to try to get around somebody, some of these drivers are going to use the apron. How does that affect your car, Tim? Because you're the driver. You've been in this car. You've done this many, many more times than I have. How does this track, when you're coming to the front stretch, you're coming out of turn 4, you're hard on the gas, you got somebody in front of you, or you got brand new tires, how do you make that pass on the apron? Explain that real quick.
Well, what is you try to set it up in the middle of the corner. You try to get the runoff, and the lower you go on this front stretch, the shorter that you make the track. So, and even though you can use that apron on the front stretch here, it doesn't mean you should. So, and that could, I have seen it upset the car whenever the car actually comes back onto the track. So, might be something to look for tonight.
Thank you, Tim. Yes, sir. And fans, the track conditions are pretty exciting tonight. We've got a partly cloudy 78-degree temperature, but the track is at 107 degrees, which means, like Tim just said, these drivers who choose to use that apron to make a pass, whether they got brand new tires or old tires, this is one prediction I'm going to give you. I almost never give you any predictions. You're going to have a few drivers have an upset car coming back up onto the apron because of the track conditions. Real quick, we're going to go over the chase grid. We've got in first place for the chase, which we are now in, Dave Washington. He has got 2 wins. He's got 3,006 points. Behind him, I'm just going to give the names of the drivers that are chasing David Washington, which is the main thing right here. We got tonight, we got 2 more weeks at Chicago, and then we got the finale 2 weeks after that at Homestead, Miami. So the chase grid is Dave Washington, In first place, second place, we got the 03 of Dylan C. Jones. Third, we got Eric Stanford in the 24, Tanner Talrico in the 42. Fifth place, William Roberts Jr. in the 12. Buzz Moore in the 11 is in 6th in the chase grid. 7th is William Davis. Brandon Cruz Montevice is in 8th. Gary Sexton 9th. 10th will be Kyle Kammerer. Mark Jackson, who's been a very exciting driver, is in 11th. 12th, we have Curtis Young. 13th, Mitchell Reeves. 14th, Josh Bonwell. Jack Watts is in 15th. And 16th is Ryan Hill. We got a couple of the drivers that may or may not be in the race tonight. But what are you looking for as far as some of the fastest drivers tonight, Tim, as far as what you've seen so far in practice and qualifying? Who would you think might have a chance to win this race and beat Dave Washington?
Well, of course, David Washington is always the favorite when it comes to these tracks here. And, of course, I do like Josh Bonwell. This is his home track. And, he always does well. Anytime we come to Kansas, Josh always does well no matter what we're driving. So Josh is going to be one to look at as well as all the CCR guys.
Yes, it looks like right now, and qualifying is pretty much over. We do have Dave Washington. Looks like he's going to be taking the pole. Eric Stanford will be outside. We'll go over the rest of the starting lineup in just a minute. We do want to mention that you just mentioned Josh Bonwell is one of the favorites here. This is his home track every single week. And fans, this is important to note. If you are in the bidding for the free pizza, his mother, Thala, always picks him to win the race. This is unusual, I think, Tim. You would probably agree with me. Josh has elected not to take a qualifying time. He's going to start in the back, looking like in 17th position, maybe to try to stay out of any kind of turmoil, accidents we might have in the first 5, 10, 25 laps. What do you think about that move for Josh Bonwell? I've never seen that before, I don't think.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing, Robert. And I really can't blame him, to be honest. We got a long race here, 134 laps, I believe, and there's a lot of time for Josh just to get to the front tonight.
Yes, sir, Tim. If you will go over the starting lineup here in the first 10, I'll go over the back half of the field after that.
All right, starting P1 on the pole, David Washington with a 29.565. Starting on his outside is going to be Eric Stanford, 29.643. Starting third, Tanner Talarico. And starting fourth, Kyle Kammerer. And starting P5, going to be the sponsor of tonight's race. Part of it is CCR Racing, Gary Sexton. Starting sixth, it's going to be Ryan Hill. Starting seventh, it's going to be William Roberts Jr. And starting 8th, it's going to be Curtis Young in the number 94. Starting 9th, it's going to be Jason Cardwell in the number 18. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be Shane Parrish in the number 81 with a 29.836.
Thank you there, Tim. Starting 11th, we have, looks like Colton Salick in the 99. He's looking to spoil some of these guys. I don't think Colton is in the chase right now. Starting after him, in 12th, we have Dylan C. Jones. 13th, we have Mark Jackson, who is in the chase. Mitchell Reeves is in the chase, starting 14th. We got Ryan Matthews, 15th. Buzz Moore, starting 16th. Josh Bonwell, like we mentioned before, 17th. Brandon Cruz Montevice, starting 18th. Jack Watts, 19th. George Hendricks, starting in, looks like 20th. 21st will be William Davis. Jeff T. Martin is up here in the booth with me. Ellery Queen looks like he'll be starting in 23rd. So this is going to be an exciting race. Primarily, Tim, this race here at Kansas, these drivers are going to be primarily using the outside groove, other than maybe the first or second lap on brand new tires. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. We'll see the bottom line play the first 1 or 2 laps and then migrate to the top. But pace car is off. We're coming to the green. Dave Washington hits the gas, and we're under green.
Yes, sir. Looks like our leader, Dave Washington, gets a great start. But don't look now. Eric Stanford in the 24 is not far behind. Looks like the 88 of Kyle Kammerer is running in third. Fourth, we have Tanner Talrico in the 42 Napa machine. And don't look now, but running in fifth We got Ryan A. Hill and that Hillco Phantom Ornament number 55. He was in the truck race last night, that was just for fun. But he is here tonight, not for fun. Ryan A. Hill, I know this driver. He's here for one reason, to win this race, advance in the session, and I think he might have a grudge to beat Dave Washington. And this is one guy I think who can get it done. What are you seeing so far, Tim?
Just as I thought they would be, they're all single filed out right now. Not really seeing a battle on the track right now. Looks like they've all kind of migrated to the top at this point.
Yeah, like I said before, we've got some of the best drivers, some of the best talent in iRacing, bar none. These guys, they all paid a fee, and they are serious about what they're doing here. So this race, knowing that this is the next to the last race to the cutoff, these guys were looking for a great run. They could not afford to ruin their car and be put out of the chase on the first 5-10 laps. So it does not surprise me at all, Tim, to see these drivers migrating to the top as early as they are. And like I said, the 24, that'd be a Eric Stanford. He has picked up quite a bit of, I don't want to say talent, but maybe that's what it is. He is now part of the Aegis Motorsport team. He is driving the Ford here, the number 24. Got Lobster on the back of his car. This is a beautiful paint job here on Eric Stanford. He is running second. He is right behind David Washington. I'm not sure if David is saving something so far, or if Eric Stanford has just improved his game so much. But Eric Stanford in that Ford Fusion has got Chef Andy's lobster rolls on the hood there, and he is definitely going to be a contender, at least in the first part of this race. That's pretty exciting, Tim.
Absolutely, and we got the William Robertson, the 12. He really wants by Curtis Young right now. He was all over him going into turn 1 last time, and you could tell these guys are racing pretty hard at the start of this race.
Yes, sir. You just mentioned William Roberts Jr. He is one of those guys in the top 5, I think top 3 in the chase. He is driving tonight that Credit One Bank Chevrolet SS number 12. He absolutely wants to get around Curtis Young. And Curtis Young is not going to give him 1 square inch, at least in this first run. Maybe he will, but I doubt it. Curtis Young is one of those drivers. He is a fast driver. He knows his car. And he's not going to give up anything unless he absolutely has to. So far, it actually looks like he got a little bit loose coming off the corner there. Curtis is racing that Go Fast energy drink Ford Fusion. So we got a lot of Fords in the front of the pack here. Do you think it's going to be a trend for the rest of the race there, Tim?
No, I just think it's just pure coincidence that we got all Fords running. But I'm sure by the end of the night, we'll see a lot of variety between Toyota, Chevys, and Fords by the end of the night.
Yes, sir. This is, like I said, you already mentioned all these drivers are primarily at the top of the track. And everybody in this race, Tim, they know what's on the line here. They know and they understand these cars are running 190, 195 into the corner. I'm watching right now with Dylan C. Jones and that Chef Andy's Lobster Rolls Ford Fusion, the number 03. He's back here in 12th position. It looks like Andy started in 12th, so he's maintaining where he is. Excuse me, Dylan. Dylan is trying to do what all these guys are trying to do. Race as fast as they can on this very, very tricky 1.5 mile over here at Kansas. Keep fenders on the car. All these guys know if you get any kind of damage on the right front fender, you're probably going to lose, what would you say, Tim, 1/10 of a second at best? You might even lose 1/2 second if you get really into the wall.
Yeah, that's at best. And if you get into the wall, it's going to crush that right side and you're going to lose all your side force, and the car's just going to continue to push for the whole run until you get that fixed. And that's even if the crews can fix it. So you got to kind of keep the car out of the wall. Keep your handling on the car.
Thank you, Tim. And back up front, it looks like Dave Washington is maintaining it very comfortable. Looks like about a 0.2 of a second lead over Eric Stanford. And since Eric has joined Aegis Motorsports, Eric got real close to the wall right there. He has improved his game incredibly. Back in 3rd place, Kyle Kammer is maintaining a very comfortable position behind Eric Stanford. So Kyle Kammer who's running in that beautiful Interstate Batteries number 88.
And Kyle Cameron has got to kind of keep his car clean tonight also. He's in 10th spot in the points now, and he's only 2 points above the cut line. So, if he has a bad night, that's going to, with only one race to go, that's going to put him below the cut line.
So what you're saying is, Kyle Cameron has to have an incredible race tonight. In your prediction, not that we're in the business of doing that, but you would say if you were driving the 88 of Kyle Cameron at Interstate Batteries, you'd be banking on you got to get a top 5 finish to advance or have a good chance of advancing.
Well, if I was Kyle Cameron, I would have written down the people that were 2 ahead of me or 2 below me and the points, and I would make sure to keep tabs on where they're running that night. That way how hard to push the car, and because you definitely want to stay at the top 12 points.
Absolutely. Right now he's running in 3rd. Looks like he started in 4th, so he has gained 1 position. And we're going to preach this all night long. And actually, we're not going to preach it because we're not in that business. But these drivers are going to have to keep the car underneath them. You're going to have to realize, and I've heard this from all the drivers in happy hour, I ran about 5 laps myself, the tire fall off is unbelievably incredible on this track with this setup and weather, Tim. I think you've talked to some of your teammates, and they probably told you the exact same thing. So every single lap, you probably have to back up the corner a little bit more than you were before as we go green.
Well, I mean, even in the first part of the run, you're going to use a little bit of brake getting into the corner, but as the tires wear, as we got the 17 in the wall, but as the tires wear, you will have to get on that brake more and more getting into the corner. So, which in turn makes the car push in the center, and by the time you get to the exit of the corner, you got so much wheel into it. Whenever you got to the center, that it's just going to get loose coming off. So, it's just something else to watch for tonight, Robert.
Yes, sir, exactly. You just said the 17 to Gary Sexton, who is the sponsor of the race with CCR 200. He did get in the wall. It looks like he lost at least 1 position. Looks like Curtis Ewing, the 94, got around him. It looks like the 12 of William Roberts was able to also get around him. So it looks like the 17 CCR of Gary Sexton has got a little bit of right front damage. Hopefully, under our first pit stop, which we will have, all these guys will have to have 4 brand new Goodyear Eagle tires and 2 cans of Snug Racing fuel. If we go green to that point, hopefully he can get that damage repaired. And if we have a caution, it'll give him an even bigger opportunity to get that damage fixed. Right now, we want to remind all the fans that you are watching the CCR 200 cross-continent racing. I think, Tim, you might have a little bit of details or information on what cross-continent racing is all about.
Yeah, I'm actually part of the cross-continent racing team. It's me, Gary Sexton, Will Davis, Joe Johnson, and Judd Danielson. We're all part of the CCR team, and it's just a bunch of guys that actually met here in the Domino Series, and it started off as me, Will Davis, and Gary Sexton, just kind of grew from there.
It sounds like it's guys from all over the continent.
Absolutely, and that's how we got our name. Gary's someone on the west coast over there, and I think the rest of us are on the east coast, with Judd being in the middle. So, but I want to mention here, Robert, you can notice how Josh Bonwell didn't qualify. Well, look, 2 cars behind Gary Sexton there. Josh Bonwell has made his way all the way up to 10th position.
I tell you what, he is one of our most talented drivers. I could talk all night long about Josh Bonwell. To be honest, fans, Tim and Michael D'Amico, I could talk all night long about any one of our drivers. We've got a class of drivers in Domino's 2IJ Racing. In my opinion, of course I'm biased, those are some of the best, cleanest, most confident, most aggressive, and most talented drivers in iRacing altogether. And we are looking to add between 6 and 12 new drivers for 2018. Give you details about later. But Josh Bonwell is one of those guys who fits directly in that category. Josh Bonwell came to us a few months back, near the beginning of our season, and he has, I think, surprised a lot of people. He is a very, very talented driver. He's a very fast driver. Sometimes he's over aggressive. Looks like we got a caution on the track. Fans, give us about 15, 20 seconds. We'll get the replay pulled up real quick. Let me know, Tim, if you see exactly what happened. I'm going to take a second or two to find out myself. Yeah, it looks like the 54 of Brandon Cruz Montevise. I'm pulling that replay up real quick. Fans, give us another second. Looks like he's coming through the front stretch. He does what we talked about earlier there, Tim. He came across the start-finish line on the apron, came back up on the track. We got about, 21 laps on the tires? The car got loose. He was not able to control it. Oh, it looks like in front of him, we also had the 99 of Colton Salek.
Salek was spinning on the front stretch, and Brandon Cruz Montevas just locked up the brakes, and it just come around on him.
That's exactly what happened. Colton, the 99, got into the wall, came down through the grass. Looked like Colton Salek in the 99 was doing a great job of meandering through the grass. Of course, the crew is not going to be very happy about what's going on there, but he got up so close to the track once he came to a stop. The 54 got on the brakes, unfortunately lost control, and the crew members here at Kansas are not going to be happy with the 99 when they go back and try to take care of that grass. And on this point, we're going to take our first quick commercial break. Fans, you're watching the Cross Continent Racing 200 live on All Pro Broadcasting. We'll give you all the details when we come back of how to win that free pizza. We'll be right back.
Smithley, driver the number 0, JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Domino's TYJ Racing Top Shelf Series live on All Pro Broadcasting. We're going back live. We're going to take an in-cockpit view from the 55 car of Ryan A. Hill. As he is restarting, it looks like in 4th or 5th position. So we're going to be silent up here in the booth and let you guys enjoy this. Crank up your surround sound. Enjoy this in-cockpit view of the 55 of Ryan A. Hill. Thank you, fans. I hope you enjoyed that in-cockpit view of Ryan A. Hill on the number 55 Phantom Ornament, number 55 Napa. Excuse me, not Napa. Phantom Ornament Chevrolet is in third position right now. Looks like Ryan started in sixth. He's made big gains, including the pit stop, up to third. Tim, what are you seeing as far as the leaders go?
And you notice on that onboard shot there, Ryan Hill, how close they get to that outside wall, and you kind of have to run up there to be fast here at Kansas.
Exactly. I'm seeing a couple other guys up front that we have not seen up front. But before we go through that, well, we have a chance under green flag conditions, fans, and you are more important to us than drivers, believe it or not. We appreciate you joining and watching what we're doing tonight. I'm now going to give you the details on how to win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza. It is pretty simple. We do this every single Wednesday and Thursday night, and you can catch us live on All Pro Broadcasting through November 16th. Will be our finale at Homestead. So mark your calendar. No, do not mark your calendar. Do this instead. If you're watching on your device, click and subscribe to All Pro Broadcasting. Not only can you win a relatively inexpensive Domino's free pizza, but if you subscribe right now, you will get your name in the hat, to win $200. Yes, these are 200 crisp $1 bills, or if you prefer, you will get 2 crisp $100 bills if you are selected once All Pro Broadcasting reaches 1,000 subscribers. But the only way you're going to get that chance to win the $200, I mean, a free pizza is a free pizza. We give away 40, 45. We do this twice a week, big deal. But $200, that's something to talk about. So make sure, fans, if you're watching tonight this incredible race, and we do appreciate it, make sure you click the subscribe button for All Pro Broadcasting, which, by the way, is the sponsor on the hood of the number 98. Yes, in first place of Dave Washington, or at least he is one of the primary sponsors, All Pro Broadcasting for Dave Washington. You want to click that subscribe button for All Pro Broadcasting to get your name in the hat. Unfortunately, my name's in the hat, but I cannot win the $200. So you got like another chance to win it because I'm part of what we're doing here. Obviously, Tim B. Cox can't win it. Any of our drivers can't win it, I don't think. D'Amico Mike can clarify this for me, but fans, you are what's important to us. We appreciate you watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Get your chance on there as Dave Washington just almost grazes the wall there coming out of turn 4. But he is keeping that lead. And like you said, Tim, you got to do that to keep the lead. But real quick, fans, to win the free pizza tonight, all you have to do is be the first fan to accurately pick the winner of this race before halfway, which will be lap 67. Right now we're on lap 34. Take your time. Don't make 3 picks, 2 picks, 5 picks. Take your time. Before lap 67, you might want to wait till lap 60, 55, 65, whatever. You choose who you think is going to win this race, and the first fan who accurately predicts to win this race will win a free large 3-topping Domino's pizza from any Domino's store in the United States of America. And there are many, many thousands of stores. That also includes any stores in Canada, Hawaii, you name it. If you win, if you're the first person to pick it, you win. We've had winners from last week before last, 2 weeks ago. You can see those pictures on my Facebook page, Robert Graham McFarland, if you scroll down quite a ways. Most fans don't want a picture on Facebook, and I respect that. I don't put it on there. But a few people have chosen to put the picture on there with the free pizza. It's a beautiful thing. So anyway, make sure you're picking before lap 67. And you might want to wait a few more laps before you make your pick. Tim, what are you thinking about the leaders of this race and what's going on in the middle of the pack?
Well, I'm looking at the chat here and looking to see who's people picking to win. I see Gary Ewing has picked Will Davis, and Will Davis is one of my teammates, so it looks like he's hanging around back there in the 15th position. And I know Will's driving style. He's just hanging around back there, clicking off these laps. And, as far as battles go, looks like everybody's single file right now, Robert.
It looks like we just had like we had a little bit of contact between the 55 of Ryan A. Hill and the 12 of William Roberts. No caution, nothing major, what we call trading paint. I don't think either one of these guys had any kind of big damage at all. They're both going for the same spot, going into the corner, last lap. And we're going to see this all night long, Tim, because these guys they're fighting for the top of the racetrack. And like we already mentioned, you already mentioned it, Tim, you pointed out very, very clearly, to be fast on this track, you have got to go right up to the edge of the wall. If you scrape it, that might actually not hurt you too much, but if you get into it hard, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, and it was just, we were talking there, Curtis Young actually got around the 88 of Kyle Cameron, as well as the 03 of Dylan C. Jones got around Kyle Cameron. So Kyle Cameron losing a couple positions just in that one lap there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The 03 tried to get back around, and Dylan C. Jones tried to get back around the 94 of Curtis Young. He's using an apron like we talked about earlier. He's able to keep it clean, keep it clear. He's diving to the low side, but he's trying to make that inside work. And as you and I both know, he's wearing the tires out, but he's got a good run right now. Yeah, he almost touched the 94. They were side by side going into turn 3. It looks like there's plenty of room here. Dylan C. Jones is another drive. He dives it way low into the corner trying to get the run, but the top side is going to prevail. Dylan C. Jones in the 03 takes the apron, but the 94 of Curtis Young still prevails. This is a great battle on the racetrack here on lap 41.
Great battle on the track. You know, we saw a little bit of contact there on the backstretch, and Dylan C. Jones is using that little bit less banking there below, a little bit more contact there between Dylan C. Jones and Curtis Young. So these guys are battling pretty hard here.
And that gives the 88 of Kyle Cameron one more chance to get back into the mix for that 5th position. It looks like up front, Dave Washington has got at least a 1 second lead over Eric Stanford. And I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with Eric Stanford being this close to the front. Great job for him. Ryan Hill on the 55. I think he's just taking his time here. I think before the end of the race, you're going to see the 55 and the 12, maybe even the 94 Curtis Young. These guys are very fast. And don't rule out now the 88 of Kyle Cameron, who has now got back around the 03 of Dylan C. Jones. It looks like Dylan might have abused his tires as the 88 gets up in the wall. Looks like Josh Baumel on the 56 might get around him. The 88 lost some momentum. Almost every lap you're going to find somebody, Tim, who gets in the wall here in this very, very tricky 1.5 mile oval. Curtis Young gets in the wall right now. Kyle Cameron might get around him. So these guys are trying to fend off the guys behind them every single lap, every single corner. This is some of the most incredible racing I've seen. And that's unless some guys even further behind them catch up.
Yeah.
Including, go ahead.
Out of Kyle Cameron here, you know, he is going to have the preferred position on the outside. And look at him go.
Yes, sir. It looks like the 03 of Dylan C. Jones is going to make it 3 wide for a second. He's going to try the inside groove, although Dylan has lost quite a few positions. I'm thinking at this point in the race, all these guys are screaming for some brand new Goodyear Eagle tires. But if they don't get them, they got to race at least a few more laps before we have the next not mandatory, but green flag cautions.
Yeah, absolutely, Robert. And looks like that little battle is settled down right now. But those guys are racing pretty hard there for being on lap 40 of 134.
It looks like these guys can go about 30, 38, 39, 38 laps right on the dot on a fuel run. But I tell you what, Tim, if you were in this race car right now, which would be the beautiful number 19, correct?
That would be correct. The EVGA number 19, Joe Cameron.
Yeah, I just saw the 88, excuse me, I hate to interrupt you, but the 88 of Kyle Cameron got on the wall. The 03 is trying to get around the 3 wide right now. And look now, the Napa Auto Parts, yes sir, of Tanner Tallarico, the 42, is going to clear both cars going to the corner. So every single time one of these cars, excuse my excitement fans, this is very exciting.
He wants a piece of this 3 wide action right now.
Yeah, these guys are diving it off. they're just having to guess, in my opinion. Actually, they're not guessing because they're a lot better than I am. They are predicting based on the last lap when they get off the gas, going in the corner, to keep the car out of the wall. And the 17-degree Sexton is making a big run. He's diving to the inside the Eddie Kyle Cameron.
Yeah, Kyle's got a lot of damage here. You know, he is going to be slower, and probably in his best interest just to let the 17 go and just sort of count his losses here.
Yes, sir. He's fighting back. And Gary Sexton just have to wait a few more laps. Behind him, we got the 81 of Shane Parrish. He's another very talented driver in 11th position. And Shane Parrish is doing what he always does. He is taking his time, racing to the front, based on what his car will give him. He's in that Servpro Ford Fusion, number 81. Beautiful green and red car. And I'm going to give all the fans real quick one more piece of advice on how you want that free pizza. You got about less than 20 laps now to get your pick in. I might have forgot to give the phone number. The first fan who accurately predict one of those race, before lap 67, you have less than 20. Text 919-8837-497, or if you're in the live race chat, say I picked this driver. The first fan who is accurate in picking the driver, take your time, don't pick three. We can't honor you if you pick 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 drivers. Pick one driver. You will win a free large 3-topping Domino's pizza from any store in the United States of America and Canada, and of course Hawaii. And hopefully you're watching the race and are more excited. I hope you get your pick in. But right now the 81 of Shane Parrish in the Servpro Ford Fusion is making a beeline underneath the 17 CCR of Gary Sexton in the Toyota Camry. But Gary's going to fight back on the outside. Looks like he's going to be smart and give that position to 81 for now. We got a long race to go here. They're both good below the apron, coming to the start-finish line. But Gary, I know him. He's another smart, very talented, fast driver, part of your team, Tim. He's probably going to take his time, take another pit stop, regroup, and he'll get back around the 81 more than likely before the race is over.
Absolutely. I've been racing with Gary a long time, and Gary's really, really smart. He'll let you pass him if you are faster than him. But he is patient, but he is passionate about his racing. You know, so he always likes to race clean, and he always likes being race clean as well.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
He's on the wall.
Yeah, he just touched the wall again. Hopefully that's not too much damage. When we do have pit stops, all these guys will have a chance to have some repair done on pit road if we have a caution, which if we don't have a caution, it's great for the fans. If we do have a caution, Tim, Michael, it's great for the fans. I know fans, you love watching these races for the incredible competitiveness that we bring with Domino's. Too much air racing, and here we do have a caution. Give us about 15 seconds. We're going to pull up the replay on that. Tim, what did you see by chance? Take your time. I'm going to review myself and find out who was involved.
Yeah, I'm looking for it myself, Robert.
Looks like the 11 Budweiser car of Buzz Moore.
Yeah,
looks like he had a little bit of... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, looks like he's just sort of giving a little bit too much gas. Just got up into the turn 4 wall there and just sort of came around on him. That's a lot of damage. He's going to have to spend quite some time on pit road there to get that repaired.
Yeah, it looks like he did a lot more spinning around necessarily than big damage. He does get it turned back around. I think he'll be able to get recovered and get some damage repaired on pit road. Tim, I'm going to let you fast forward to the pit stops and see what's happening. I'm going to catch up with you in just a second.
Yep, absolutely.
Under this caution, fans, we do want to remind you, you can pick in for the free pizza. We're going to take care and look at all the drivers who are coming around pit road. Looks like all of them are coming down pit road because here at Kansas, the way this track uses the tires, you absolutely want to get 4 tires as soon as you can. How you doing tonight, Ray Richard? Good to see you.
Good evening, gentlemen. How's it going this evening?
Yes, sir. We are on lap 55 under our second caution. We got Dave Washington coming down the pit road. Looks like he's coming in the pits. And all these drivers are on pit road, the top lead lap cars. They're all going to get, in my opinion, 4 tires, 2 cans of Sunoco fuel, And Ray, I'll let you get acclimated for a couple of seconds. Tim, what are you seeing on pit road?
Yeah, everybody is going to take 4 tires. Anytime they come on pit road, if 4 tires is too important, 2 tires will not work here. And looks like we got the 98 of David Washington out first with the 24 of Eric Stanford right up behind him.
Looks like I've missed an exciting night of racing so far, gentlemen. A little bit late to the party, but at least I made it here. It looks like Eric Stanford doing a fantastic job out there in second place. Just saw a few about 10 laps before I seen him hit the pit road here. And I'll tell you what, it's been great racing so far from what I've seen. What have I missed? Anything special?
We had 1 caution earlier for a single car spin, but other than that, we've had a lot of clean green flag racing. And Ray, thank you so much for joining. We're going to have these guys recycle here, and I'm going to let you and Tim take over as far as this goes. I'm going to jump back in when we have our next commercial break, probably the next caution, and I'm going to let you guys have at it.
Tim, I'm glad to join you up here in the booth. I believe this is your first time broadcasting up here, yes?
Not my first time, but it is one of my first times. I will call it that. I'll give you a little bit of credit there, Ray, but you've definitely missed some exciting racing.
From what I'm seeing here, I saw the 11 of Buzz Moore. Unfortunately, kind of looks like he oversteered the corner, come out of turn 4, tapped it, and he got rear-ended there by Mark Fravert, I believe is who it was, and Mark Jackson in the number 3 car. That's an old name, actually, Domino's TYJ Racing from last year. Mark being a great driver himself, both of them, actually, between Mark Jackson and Mark Fravert. Again, Fravert not involved in this evening. Again, just trying to get my boundary straight here. Caution right now, as we said, lap 56 is being completed at the time. And we'll kind of pick up things as the green flag comes back out.
Yes, sir. One thing, sorry about that, Tim. One thing we do want to do is we understand we have one of our greatest features from All Pro Broadcasting that most people do not have. It's called Crank It Up. And when we do get the green flag, guys, we'll take 2 laps once the green flag comes out. And Michael D'Amico will do a Crank It Up version here in Kansas. And you fans turn up your surround sound systems and enjoy it. I'll be back in a few. Thank you, guys. You can talk about things before then.
Absolutely, Robert. One of the things here with Kansas Speedway, it isn't very a gritty surface, but they do chew up tires pretty good because the turns are pretty tight. You've got to really know how to use your throttle a lot around here. I've actually spotted this track in real life, and I'll tell you what, it is a fantastic track to go to. I suggest it highly if you ever had the chance to be there. Driving here, of course, simulated, but regardless, not short of any type of action nonetheless. Fantastic job by these guys, of course, keeping their cars a little dent-free. And Tim, what else have you got, Gohors?
Well, I'll give you guys something else to think about. That number 11 car's in that last caution. It's 6th in the points right now, so it's going to hurt him tonight.
I cut him down a little bit towards the end, but we'll see exactly what happens. Again, keep an eye on that 11. I don't think he's out of it just yet, but trying to look down through the field here. I see David Washington's putting on a great show. Of course, Eric Stanford being up front, doing great himself for the first time in a while. Curtis Young also in the mix like he is a veteran here in 2 years of Domino's TYJ Racing. Again, back to the trucks. He was a champion last year in the 2016 season, doing a great job this evening.
Absolutely, and as we come to the green flag here, Ray, I'm going to let you take it.
Absolutely, we're going to do a green flag, and if you got any speakers, crank it up. we get you back to the action here in the announcing back on the air. We hit the third lap of the green flag stride here. Everybody in line except for back to it looks to be seemingly a 62 of Ellery Queen making a few moves back there, about 3/4 way through the pack. He's still on the low side. Unfortunately stuck down there on the 7 of William Davis. He'll take and try to get past him on the backstretch, but again, to catch that 7 of William Davis, he'll have to give it all he's got right here in the corner. He'll fall almost in front of the 99, but the 99 will shut that door on the outside line and keep the 62 low. Everybody else ahead of them, single file. A lot of them going down below that apron trying to get a good run towards the front runner of David Washington, but the 24 of Eric Stanford keeping right in the tracks of the 98 machine of All Pro Broadcasting, this evening's sponsor. Still looking back through the field a little bit, the 42 of Tanner Tallarico, which I believe still is our points leader here in top shelf. I'd have to look that up. He goes to the inside of what looks to be trying to see the number of the car from here, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. Reeves isn't going to give it up easy. Of course, again, that inside line, it slows you down just a little bit because it may be the shorter way around the track, but you're also binding the car up. And when you turn that wheel so much, everything's kind of fighting itself inside the mechanics of the car, and it'll slow it down just a little bit, including the tires, the traction, and the way the car turns. Of course, side by side, door to door, the 42 and 02 are fighting their way through this. It's the 13th and 12th position. A little bit farther up front, we're kind of keeping an eye on a few different guys. The Kyle Kamer machine, 88. I seen him tap the wall earlier when I first joined the broadcast, but he seems to be doing a great job right now keeping the car straight. Again, everybody in line just basically like almost like a drafting here at a small track, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely, Ray. And of course, unlike other racers, they're not letting David Washington get away this time. They are actually keeping up with him. The top 5 are.
Yeah, if you watch that 03 of Dylan Jones, he'll go below the the apron there to try to get a little bit on him. But on the 24, of course, of Eric Stanford, but not enough. The 4 guys behind of 98 of David Washington, if they keep in line like that, they'll keep a draft going, and they'll still be able to catch up with him. But again, they're not letting him get away. 98 of David Washington, one of the smoothest drivers on the circuit. He'll take that car to put it in places I've never really seen before and still make it like almost twice as fast as these guys. Just finesse is what it comes down to, and he seems to be the master of it.
Absolutely, Ray. And and of course you mentioned, as you know, if they stay in line, they can probably keep up with him. But I mean, as soon as they get side by side, he's just going to drive away.
As we look back in line a little bit to the 42 of Tallarico, he'll take to the inside, actually now the outside of William Davis in the number 7. Davis takes off like a bullet coming around that one corner. He'll take and get up to the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. Reeves trying to take and hold out of that position. Down the front chute they'll go, below the apron, actually 2 of them will out of the 3. The 02 blocks the 42 of Tanner Tallarico. Tallarico to the outside, and he'll try to catch up with the 02, but again, leaving the 7 in the dust.
Yeah, that outside line is always going to prevail here at Kansas. You know, that low line is just not the fastest way around.
Yeah, Kansas, one thing you got to watch out for. If you look at those black marks on the wall, trust me, they were put there by tires, not by paint by any means, because when you get around these corners, you got to kind of hold it about a foot or 2 off the wall. If you go too low, again, you bind up the car, as I said earlier, tightens it back up. And one of the guys I'd actually want to point out here real quick is the 03 of Dylan C. Jones. He's in 3rd position right now. Started in 12th place, seems to be our man on the move, but not far behind him. Josh Bonwell didn't take any time during qualifying. Started 17th, now running in the 5th position. Still up with those guys, fighting for that front spot, but it takes them a while to get around this track and kind of get learned because, again, David Washington just seems to hold them off and a good job.
Yeah, Josh Bonwell is actually your hometown hero in this race tonight, and it's no surprise to see him up front. Anything he drives here, he runs towards the front.
And don't forget about Josh's mom. Again, Rudy Mon, he'll turn around and he'll every week, no matter what he's doing, he will be up there most of the time in the top 5, top 10. And Josh's mom, again, we're on the edge of her seat tonight, although she's got a while to wait on that. 134 laps is what we're shooting for right now, completing lap 68. Quite a while to go, and he's got a lot of work to do. We'll see at least, I think, 2 more pit stops before this race is completely over.
Yeah, at least 2 pit stops, Ray, for fuel anyway, but I'm going to guess we're going to see some cautions so they can pit under caution.
Well, if you think about it with the tires wearing out, Tim, what will happen, a lot of these guys will run a little bit out of talent. Not that they're not talented, of course, that is a saying, but the car will get a little loose. Someone will try to push a little bit harder, and of course, the next corner it'll be surprising to them because the rear tires won't have as much grip as they did the last 5 times. And well, around they'll go, but it doesn't look like anybody's hitting any bump drafts, ain't getting around anybody. A lot of inline racing right now. A lot of people using that bottom apron there by the start-finish line, again, shortening up the track. Doesn't seem to upset the car too badly when they come off back onto the racing surface, but doing a great job up front.
Looks like Curtis Young wants to join in on this party as well. He's bringing up the rear there, right there behind Josh Bonwell.
About 8 car lengths back behind Bonwell, but that was shortened from 12 to 10, now 8. As long as he can catch that pack up front, he's got a chance to take and do a little, I keep saying the word draft. They are running fast enough to do that around here. I mean, they're doing 198, 199 miles an hour right into turn 1 as I'm looking at here on the gauges. And that's no easy feat, especially when you're trying to turn the car to keep it off the wall. But great job by Curtis Young, shortening up that between Bonwell and him by, it looks now, about 5 positions. But he'll still give it a shot to get up to that 5th place spot. Again, now running in 6th, starting 8th.
Absolutely. Let's take a look back here at Gary Sexton. He was all the way back to 15th earlier because he hit the wall. Looks like he got that damage fixed, and he's all the way back into the top 10, right?
Yeah, he's a pretty good driver himself. I'll tell you what, especially when it comes to these guys in the pits. Fantastic job every week by them, getting that damage done. As you say that, Gary goes to the low line. He doesn't actually hit, but Ryan A. Hill, 55, will tack the wall. He'll do a little spark throwing off there. He'll go to the low side, try to do the crossover down the backstretch. Door-to-door drag race into 3.
Yeah, Gary's going to have the position coming off 4 here. As long as he can stay in the gas in the center of the corner, he will get that run. He'll take position going to 1.
Well, credit to Ryan A. Hill. He took that low line, made it his own, but not enough coming off of turn 4. Gary Sexton with the advantage. He'll take the high line, and again, Ryan A. Hill will take a second shot at it here in turn 2.
Yeah, it looks like Jack Watts wants to join in this party too. He tried to get below Ryan A. Hill there, and Ryan A. Hill would have none of it.
See, one of the things with these cars in the front of the run when it all begins, especially in a restart, you kind of get the feel of these cars. The track's nice and warm right now. Everybody gets into the groove. Of course, that's where you get your front to rear running. But once the tire pressures come up and everything gets to that temperature where everybody's comfortable with their cars and they can get to the tires where they're not wearing them out, that's when this passing begins. And obviously, we're about 10 laps into this run. That's what we're seeing here. Back to the 66 of Jack Watts. He looks like he's trying to pounce down on Ryan A. Hill. But Hill is not having any of that. I mean, they're following each other's tracks, but he's losing ground to the 66 as I'm speaking.
Absolutely, Ray. And as you were talking there, we had the O2 of Mitchell Reeves just grazed the wall there. You know, no harm, no foul. I don't think it did any kind of damage to the car, but he did get him a Kansas stripe there.
Another challenge right now, 7th place position. Shane Parrish, he's caught the tail end of what was a run by Curtis Young. Curtis Young is still running that high side. And I'll tell you, Shane's bringing that car to the low side. Now, it doesn't just bind the car up, as I've said a million times before. It also wears the tires out because you're turning them a little bit harder. Now, as you're turning them a little bit further and harder, it skids them across the track. Again, wears your front tires out, ruins your front bite, and it gives your run a lot less shorter of a chance to get past that guy in front of you. But again, Parrish right on the tail end of the 94 of Curtis Young. I mean, he's going to hit his bumper here probably in the next half lap if he doesn't try to get around him right here.
Absolutely, Ray, and I'll just add into what you were saying there about the tires. You know, here at Kansas, you know, these cars tend to tighten up in the center, and as you add more wheel in center, you know, you put too much wheel into it, that back end's going to come around. So it's another thing to look at.
Oh, absolutely. These high horsepower cars, if you think about it, they're running 900 horsepower to these things with the rear wheels. And when you get these tires nice and hot, it wants to come around, and if you hit a little bit too hard on that throttle, so I'm sure a lot of throttle control comes into play here. Everybody doing a great job keeping it off the wall in the past couple of laps. Only challenge, like I said, right now, still with the 81 and 94, Young and Parrish.
Yep, and up front, David Washington's pulled out 6/10 of the second lead.
Dylan C. Jones behind the 24 of Stanford in the 3rd place spot there. It looks like he's kind of hunting him down. He's tried that low line a couple past laps. Looks like he's going to try it here, but no go. Actually, as I say that, he goes down to the apron. Stanford with the block, about 1 car length back, but don't look like it's going to last too much longer. Dylan Jones on the move right now.
And looking a little bit further back, we got Jack Watts on the inside of Ryan A. Hill trying to make that pass, but Ryan A. Hill is going to prevail coming off to there. That high side just can't compete with that run coming off.
Yeah, with that being said, right behind them, you've got the 7 of William Davis, the 42 of Tallarico, and the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. The 7 almost hit the 02 of Reeves, twice last time in that lap. Oh, he'll punch in between the two of them. Not the way it should be, though. Needle and the thread usually side by side, but I'll tell you what, he tried to take and get in front of Tellerico. Tanner, a few words over the radio at him right now, but in other words, what was that? Well, I watched him talk the same exact thing. He had no room. There's a little bit of damage back to the 07, but not too much. It'll slow him down. Tellerico falling back in line, and they'll shoot down the backstretch.
Yeah, had him a really big break there, you know, and if he would have got into him, he would have had every right to do so.
Yes, sir, real quick, we're going to do our first Domino's driver profile. Hadn't done this yet tonight. These guys were racing clean and green. The 7 of Will Davis, he is from Augusta, Georgia. His race team is Cross Continent Racing. He's got quite a few sponsors, including Cross Continent Racing, Dirty Air Studios, and he's been in sim racing 3 years. He does have real world racing 14 years. A couple of racing accomplishments. He's got a Class C iRacing Fixed Division 5 Truck Championship in 2016. And he's got a Georgia State Karting Championship in 2001, fans. That is not something you come by easy. That takes a whole lot of work from your family, yourself. So congratulations to Will Davis.
We had a karting family ourselves down there in North Carolina when I was down there, and some of that's brought up here in New York. And I'll tell you what, dedication, work, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and you're absolutely right, Robert. I'll tell you, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and gears, as they say, and it does take a lot of your time away from family time. So to have a championship underneath your belt, beautiful, beautiful job. Trying to look back, I hear a little bit of radio chatter from the 94 Curtis Young, and I'm kind of looking to see exactly what happened. About a half a lap ago, I'm finally seeing a replay here. The 81 kind of cut up in front, almost pulled the same thing as what happened between William Davis and Terrence Tellerico, but unfortunately it gave some damage to the 94 Curtis Young with the right front fender, so it might slow him down just a little bit in the long run, but we'll see what happens here, and hopefully he can keep up with the field.
Dylan C. Jones trying every which way there is to get around that 24 of Eric Stanford. He's gone high, he's gone low, but just can't seem to get around him.
It looks like he might have it here. He goes to the door right now with the front end, low side, but that high side's got the speed advantage. Nope, still side by side at the stripe. They'll go down to turn 1. He looks like he's going to have it here. No, again, optical illusions all the way around. He'll try the low side again, slowing the car down. Stanford to the high side. He'll keep it about 6 inches off of that wall, and I'll tell you what, he takes that position back with ease. Bonwell a little bit, by the way, coming up from turn 2. He'll tap the wall, make a little bit of damage to that 56 machine. Looks like the right front fender's been up just a hair, but again, I don't think it's going to slow him down. I keep saying it. Not a lot of aero this evening, but again, 190 mile an hour still does contribute to what shape that car's in.
Yes, sir. Real quick, I'm going to do one more Domino's driver profile on the 94 of Curtis Young. We do try to highlight all of our drivers during the race, but this particular driver, he's a great driver. He means a lot to our sport at Domino's TOJ Racing. But more importantly, we want to highlight the fact on this car tonight, that beautiful number 94 Ford Fusion, he has got in loving memory of Linda Young, 1960 to 2005. That's Kurtz's mother. She passed due to breast cancer. And all the people out there that are fighting or have survived or have passed due to breast cancer, we want to honor them, even though we're under caution. This is very important, and we appreciate him having that paint job on his car tonight, guys. Yeah, take a couple seconds to let us know what happened on the caution.
Sorry, Robert, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just looking right at that caution there, but looks like
the 02.
Yeah, it looks like the 02 just kind of gave it too much gas, and the 42 was there.
Yeah, my replay here as we're going to pull up here for the fans. Looks like the 42 had the position. The 02 kind of camped the track and thought he had room. Unfortunately, pinched the 42 between him and the wall. That'll not take him out of commission, but enough to take and slow everybody down. And unfortunately, he's going to have a lot of body work done. I say he, as in 42 and the 02 of Mitchell Reeves.
Yes, sir. And on that note, we're going to take our final commercial break, fans. We'll be back in just a minute. You're watching the CCR 200 live on All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure you click that subscribe button to get your chance to win that free $200. Yes, I did say $200. We're going to give you all the details on how to win that $200 and the updates on pit road, what happened. And at the end of the race, we'll let you know who won the free pizza. Fans, we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
When you're ready, help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com. Helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, before they go fast and start to power slide, we salute you with the big blocks for wide. Race fans, it's showtime. Welcome back, race fans, to Dominus TYJ Racing Top Shelf Cup Series. Here live on All Pro Broadcasting. We're going to do a crank it up here on this restart. Fans, take about 2 laps, crank up your surround sound system, and enjoy this. This is going to be pretty incredible. Before we go back green, Ray and Tim, what are you seeing up front?
One of the things, go ahead, Tim.
Oh, I noticed 24 of Eric Stanford actually lost a lot of positions on pit road. I think he's all the way back to 17th position now. Looks like he stayed in the pit stops a bit longer, maybe to get some damage fixed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to point out. I think he may have had a speeding penalty. I've seen a couple cars go by him while they were getting things stacked back up for this restart. By the way, guys, 44 laps to go at this point in time. Fuel run shouldn't be a problem. Tire run will be towards the end. As we go back green on your Domino's TYJ, crank it up. One of the things we do here at Domino's TYJ Racing is follow all of iRacing prompts, and whatever happens during iRacing flags, that's exactly what takes care of the race. The reason I say this is on the restart, I seen the 18 unfortunately kind of come down a little bit, took the 66, tapped them in the door, and both of them went to the infield to the grass, which normally would cause a caution, but in this case was not in the racing groove, so iRacing let it go. These guys will start towards the back, and right now they'll be running respectively on the lead lap in 19th and 20th position. Back up front, of course, David Washington. He's got at least a 4-car lap lead over Dylan C. Jones, who's been lucky enough, unfortunately, to have Eric Stanford go to the back repairing his car. Hopefully Eric can make it back up through the field.
Yeah, our top 2 points right now are running 1-2 on the track, and we'll point out also, look at position 4 there. We got Shane Parrish there. He was running 10th or 11th spot about 30-40 laps ago. Now he sees there's 40 laps to go. He said it's time to go, and he's up there in the top 5 right?
One of the guys we talked about before, Tim, was William Davis. He's in the 7th. Machine right now running 6th. Didn't take any time on qualifying. 21st is where he actually started. But I want to talk a little bit more about Eric Stanford. I'll go back in the pack a little bit. He's been holding that low line. This could hurt him in the long run. He's below the 42 of Terrence Rico right now, the damaged machine, unfortunately, during that one caution we seen not too long ago, of course. The 24 will make it to the end, should be able to take and make it incident free, but that car, the 42 of Rico makes a little more damage as he grabs the wall coming off of turn 4. But as I was saying for Stanford, I think his luck's going to run out because he's wearing them tires out pretty quick being in that low line, but he's gained about 5 positions in the past 3 laps.
Yeah, it's time to go now, Ray. You know, I think he's trying to get everything he can out of the starts to get back, you know, as far as fun as he can, and hoping for a caution to come out once those tires do wear out.
Oh, absolutely, Tim. I think you're 100% right. Again, it's not going to last long. Here, about 10 laps into a run, especially if you're hard at the bottom, it will wear out those tires pretty quick. I'm going to go back a little bit further, actually behind Eric Stanford, to the 42 of Terrence Rico. He's getting past what looks to be right now of the 34 of George Hendricks. Hendricks on the low side. Most of the time he's been running the high line most of the night, but again, Talarico back to him. He wasn't able to come off that corner quick enough. Talarico almost got his backside there coming off it too.
Yep, as we see Eric Stanford back on the bottom of the track trying to get that position by Mitchell Reeves.
He's trying like crazy again. Those tires got to be wearing them thin pretty quick. He's in 14th right now, respectively. He's trying to get that 02 machine, but now he's going to come up on a lot of other faster cars. Ahead of the 02 that we have, the 11 of Buzz Moore. He caused a caution about 40 laps ago, unfortunately hitting the wall. There's some pretty good damage to the back end of that machine. Got most of the front end repaired, but as long as the air's coming off the back, fine. Still seems to be turning the corners and keeping up with the field. Stanford will try that low line again, Tim, down that front chute, but actually the 02 of Mitchell Reeves will shut that door pretty quick. They're not running these tires, try the tracks, but keep in mind, too, the high side's been where it's at, where all the heat is. Oh, excuse me, as I say that, it looks like Stanford taps the wall. He'll lose a little traction, go sideways, get her back up, lose a lot on the 02 down the back stretch, keep it straight there.
I don't think he hit the wall too hard, Ray. I think he's still okay. It doesn't look like he did too much damage. Probably like 5 or 10 seconds whenever he comes on pit road next time.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad there for that 24 machine, but he's still doing a great job getting back up through there. Going back up to the 8th position of Colin Salick. Haven't talked much about him since I've been in the broadcast. He's been trying that low line on the 7th in front of him for the past 2 laps, but again, when he goes into the low line, it doesn't seem to stick very good. He'll get back up against the wall, get back to the throttle, and stay in the tire tracks to that 7, but not enough to pass him. We'll see what happens when the 7's tires wear out in the long run.
Yep, going up 1 spot further, Gary Sexton just got by Will Davis. Gary hit the wall a little bit earlier. You know, he was all the way back in 14th, I believe, and Gary also says, hey, it's time to go. He's all the way up to P6 right now.
Ryan A. Hill, top 10 position right now. Got a challenge from the 62 of Ellery Queen. Ellery will take that low side. He'll try it again like he's tried the past half a lap or so. But again, that low line just isn't the place to be. I know the wear is on top, but the low line is still no traction. As you can see, in that top line, 3rd and 4th through, there's a lot of black up there laid down by these tires from this past bits of laps that we've been doing. Right now, lap 101, 102 actually is what they're on. We'll have 32 laps to go.
Yeah, the top 3 kind of separate themselves now. David Washington, Dylan C. Jones, and Tanner Talarico. They're kind of running in their own little pack out there with Shane Parrish bringing up 4th.
Yeah, Bill William Roberts Jr. in the third position. He seems to be doing pretty good, staying on the tail end of that Dylan C. Jones machine to 03. But I just noticed Washington will come out of turn 4. He won't keep that high side long. He'll come down to third groove, cut off a little bit of the track, and then go right back. That's enough to cut about 10 feet off, where these guys are still doing 10 feet on, so it actually shortens up his run and lengthens theirs. So that's actually a great strategy. He just did that same exact thing turning out of turn 2.
Yep, and thank you, Ray, for correcting me on the William Roberts car there.
All good, not a problem. Just making sure we do your facts straight. I screw up a lot of times. Don't feel bad whatsoever, bud.
I'll get it straight while I'm up here a few more times. But like I said, they are still pulling away from Shane Parrish by about 0.2 a lap.
Eric Stanford coming out of turn 4. We just kind of missed it off camera. Saw it in my corner of my eye. He's challenging 3 cars now. He actually hit the 11 of Buzzmore, at least it looked that way. Coming off the 4, gathered it back up. Nothing on the radio, so maybe I could be incorrect there. But I will tell you, he got real close to that door on that driver's side of that 11 machine. He actually overtakes the 02 and the 11. He's now gunning down the 6th place of Ellery Queen. Excuse me, 11th place. See? I gotta do corrections too, bud.
Yeah, these 4 cars right here are racing pretty hard, and if you're Eric Stanford, like I said, it's time to go. When you're running up there in P2, it's really, really frustrating to be running back here at 12th, knowing that you've got a really fast car.
Yeah, keep in mind, too, he got all that body fixed there in the last pit stop. That's what took him so long. Oh, he's
on the wall again.
He'll almost
Ellery Queen.
Ellery will take the leash of action 3 wide down the back stretch. He'll overtake Stanford. Stanford will make the whole work. Won't touch the body nor the steel on the outside retaining wall. He'll go door-to-door out of turn 4 with a 62 of Queen. He's got the advantage on the high side, and he'll take back that, what is the 11th position, I believe, right now? Yes, 11th position coming across the stripe.
Boy, Stanford is driving the wheels off of that car. He nailed the wall coming off, too, and still was able to keep his position.
Give him a lot of credit. That thing's been slipping and sliding. Ellery Queen, by the way, just about lost it up in turn 2 there. He'll get passed by the 02 on the outside of, let me see here, Mitchell Reeves, we've been talking about all night long. They'll go door-to-door, side-by-side, but at the same time, that number 24 machine is pulling away by about 5 to 6 car lengths now at the stripe.
Yeah, one thing, the 24 Eric Stanford, excuse me, guys, the whole race, he was like running neck and neck with Dave Washington. I'm not sure what happened on pit stops or cycles, but he is way back in the field, and I know Eric Stanford is hungry to get back up front.
He's doing a great job of it right now. I'll tell you what, this has been great driving that we've been watching most of the night now. He's impressing the heck out of me. He doesn't have a lot of laps left, and he's got to get that thing back up in the top 5 to even challenge David Washington. And right now, he's at least 5 seconds behind the leader, so he'd probably need a caution to get it back there, but there has been damage under his car. He's tapped the wall a couple times, but again, able to keep that thing under speed. I got to give him a lot of credit. Now, as I'm saying this, excuse me for interrupting, guys, but the 56 of Bonwell is challenging the 99 of Colton Salick. He was actually on the inside of him here about half a lap ago. Right now in his tire tracks, but not lacking in speed. He'll go up towards the wall. Looks like the 99 almost taps it, but not without a challenge from the 55 Ryan A. Hill. Hill on the bottom side. He'll take the position over from the 56 of Bonwell.
Yeah, Bonwell got into the wall there, coming off 4 a little bit, causing the check up, and that's how Ron Hill got by him.
Now, what's going on? Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I was going to say, pretty much all these drivers have got what they got. They got one more pit stop to make before the checkered flag, if we stay green. And from what I'm seeing, guys, you are doing an incredible job. But when I see passes made, it's because the car in front makes a mistake, touches the wall, and that's how the 55 just got around a couple of cars there. So this is going to be incredible. Before pit stops and after pit stops, and if we have them under green, anything can happen.
Actually, Robert, they just went green on lap 91. I think they can make it from here. I mean, I'm not sure how the tires are going to hold up. I'm sure they're going to be yelling for tires, but I'm pretty sure they can make it from here on fuel.
Yeah, if they do, that's what I was going to say, Tim, is the tires are going to wear out before the fuel does, I believe, on this run. Now, by the way, as I was saying about Eric Stanford, we've been talking about him most of the night because he's been just passing cars left and right. He's got the speed to keep up with the top 10. He's right behind Bonwell by exactly 1 second, but keep this in mind. He was 5 seconds behind the leader about 5 laps ago. He is 5.9 now, which means Washington is still pulling away from this lead.
Yes, sir. Right now we've got the 94 Curtis Young, as well as we've got one other car coming onto pit road as we speak. 03 at Dylan C. Jones. So these guys are breaking this cycle up into two pit stops. It looks like right now Dylan C. Jones locks it up. Josh Bonwell's on pit road. We're going to follow the 94 of Curtis Young as he comes down to his pit box. He pulls in perfectly, as a seasoned veteran always does. Right side's going up. He's getting 2 right side Goodyear Eagle tires. Looks like the 03 might have only got 2 tires, guys. You have to check on that.
Yes,
Curtis Young's getting 4 tires, 2 1.5 cans, I guess, of Snuffle Racing fuel. What'd you see on the 03?
That's exactly what I saw, Robert. The right sides went up, half a cam went in, and down he went. I mean, it's enough for a position, but I don't think that's a very smart move. We'll have to keep an eye on David Washington's pit if he comes in before the end, which I believe he's going to, especially if these guys pulled in. And if he takes 4 tires, that gives the advantage to the 03 of Jones with 2 tires. But I don't think he can hold that enough speed with 2 tires here at Kansas.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Caution's out, gentlemen.
And this changes everything. Give us about 10-15 seconds. We'll get the replay pulled up.
What I'm seeing on the replay here, we'll get it pulled up here for you at home. Right now, the 54 of Brandon Cruz-Monsalves went to the outside. He's a lap car down. Ellery Queen tried to avoid him. Ellery tried to take his line away and unfortunately come up. Just kind of caught the 54 right in the side door and put him into the wall. I'm not sure if that was a race incident. I don't think it was on purpose by any means, because I don't see these guys driving that way. What'd you guys see?
To me, Ray, it kind of looks like the 54 just sort of got loose coming off and ran down into Elliott. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Sitting right here, the 54 got loose, and it just got loose coming right down into Ellery Queen.
Yeah, I was looking at one angle. Of course, I didn't look at the other angles. I don't disagree with that. We'll let the officials kind of work that out. We'll re-rack the field here, and we'll see what we got towards the end. But keep in mind, these guys up front can get all 4 tires, but that also puts the 03 of Jones at that disadvantage, and also with him doing that pit stop puts him a lap down. When he needs everybody from 13th on up to 1st, which is from 13th of Eric Stanford in a 24 machine to 98 of David Washington to pit to get back on that lead lap, and it looks like that may just happen. Let's run down the field and take a look at our pit stops, guys.
Yes, sir. I'll let you and Tim take over the pit stops. I'm going to do a couple of admin duties, and this is going to set us up for an incredible restart and a finish to this race.
Now, just so you know, fellas, Tim and Robert, I am looking at the 03 of Jones. He took the right side tires as we spoke on the last pit stop. We know he can make it to the end. This will actually put him back on the lead lap, and if he can get the vehicle around here fast enough, because he was actually the first one lap down, he's got the lucky dog. You know, I was thinking he's going to start up front, but that's not the case. With this lucky dog, you have to start at the tail end of the longest line. So he'll start behind the 24, I believe, of Eric Stanford, depending on how they come off of pit lane. And it looks like, I could be incorrect about that. Looks like the 02 right now, Mitchell Reeves. Again, we'll see who comes off in the 12th position. That'll put Jones in the 13th place position. And we'll get this field re-racked here shortly.
Yeah, it looks like David Washington is going to be your leader coming off pit road, followed by, let me get my bearings straight here, looks like Tanner Tyler, or William Roberts Jr. is going to come out second. Shane Parrish is going to come out third, so a couple of guys getting a couple positions there.
I can tell you one thing, guys. I remember 2 months ago, we had the Xfinity race here at Kansas, and the number 12 of William Roberts Jr. more or less dominated this race. So I think he's been saving his stuff, and we're past the cutoff for the fans to make their pick. But I tell you one thing, Ray, Tim, Michael, fans, you better look out for this number 12. He's running that beautiful paint job. Looks like it is the Credit One Bank Chevy SS. Don't be surprised if he knows how to get around this field and beat Dave Washington. That's my pick if we were picking.
Yeah, you got to look out for Shane Parrish right there in third, too. If William Roberts gets a bad start, then Shane Parrish is going to be all over David Washington going into 1.
Don't count out that 17 machine of Gary Sexton either. He's been up there most all night. Again, started in the 5th place position. He is back right now in the 5th place position. Hasn't moved much. But again, the farthest back I think he went was 12th place for just a short while. I could be incorrect in saying that, but I know it was out of the top 10. He's up there to contend for this finish as well. Now, I'm not sure what they are on laps to go. I don't see anybody. Oh, that actually is going to double up right now. It'll be 1 lap to go. Right now, this is 1 lap 118. A little bit of quick math in my head. It means that there's going to be 35 laps. I'm sorry, the 134. It'll be 15 laps to go when we restart this race. So it's nothing but a Saturday night shootout on a Thursday evening at a 1.5 mile track with everybody on fresh tires except the 03 there of Dylan Jones.
Yeah, there's no holding back now, Ray. These guys are going to drive the wheels off this thing.
You know, as we're saying this, Tim, one thing I just noticed, and I'm not sure how it happened. I know he pitted Eric Stanford in a 24, a lap down in the 19th position. I don't think he got anything repaired in that car this time, but not sure why he's a lap down. But, well, we must have missed something in the broadcast, but reporting that out there, right now he is the first car 1 lap down.
Yeah, what we're going to do here on the restart is go inboard on the restart for 2 laps with the number 55 of Ryan Hill. See if he can manage his way through this traffic pan. Turn up the surround sound. Enjoy this as we go 2 laps. Inboard with 55.
Did not take the 55 of Ryan Hill long to get up to the 4th place spot. Bunch of cars going to the infield. I didn't exactly see what happened there, but I see him come out of the grass. Hopefully not a caution. Everybody's still on the throttle, and I'll tell you what, just a gaggle of cars. There's our caution out, fellas.
Yes, sir. Give us fans about 5, 10, 15 seconds. We'll get the replay pulled up. The battle was actually behind the 55.
Yeah, I was actually looking right at that, Ray. It looks like it started with Gary Sexton. He lost the car coming out the corner and just got in. I believe that was the 99 car.
These guys are just fighting hard for that position. I'll tell you what. Again, it was a 15-lap shootout. Again, the 99, like you said, involved Colton Salek, the 17 of Gary Sexton. They tried holding on to it. They came back out on the racetrack right in front of a few cars, including the 24 of Stanford. Stanford hit the rear end of the 17, and unfortunately, that damaged the whole front end of that 24 Chef Andy's machine. It actually collected a lot of guys up. So if Gary was to take and try to keep that thing slowed down off the track, it may have kept the green out till the end. But right now, re-racks everybody back up. Bunch of damaged cars. We'll get you back caught up here in about a half a lap. One of the things I noticed on that restart, the 7 of William Davis, he was running that car so hard next to Gary Sexton, he actually grabbed the wall coming through 3 for quite a while. I mean, sparks flying off it. He had nowhere to go, basically downward. He just grabbed the wall and just kept his foot in the throttle, and it finally came down when he hit turn 4, but it slowed him down so much, and a lot of guys behind him, they just shuffled for that position. Right now, working lap 123. If they restart next time, we'll have exactly 10 to go. So this might be an 8-lap shootout when we restart this thing, guys, in double file formation here.
Yeah, tough break for Gary Sexton as well. You know, his team is the sponsor of this race, and, you know, I hate to see that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead, Ray. Even the best drivers, we saw it last night in the 9-point truck race. Dave Washington believe it or not, he got loose, spun out, collected the 62 of Ellery, as I know him, Jay Queen, and even the best drivers are going to make a mistake every now and again. So you can't blame them for that. It's hard racing, unfortunate, but that's going to give all these guys one more chance. Tell us what's happening on pit road, guys. Who's getting tires?
What I was just watching here is a 34 of George Hendricks. Only spoke about him a couple times this evening. He went on pit road, and it looked like he grabbed 4 fresh rubbers, as well as Josh Bonwell. They're both on the lead lap, running 14th and 15th right now. Curtis Young, too much damage. I think he's off the racetrack for now. William Davis is still there. I'm trying to see who that other car was in the pits there, standing still. But regardless, the 56 of Bonwell, not a bad idea to take and grab what he did for 4 tires, because if this is a last 8, we'll say 8 lap effort, with full throttle with 4 tires around this speedway, you can hold that middle line for quite a while, and you can pass a bunch of cars if you can keep your foot in the throttle. And I think that's what they're going for. This might put them in the top 10 on this restart. I mean, I see some damage done to that 56 on the right-hand side. Nothing horrible, but he grabbed the wall a couple times. Again, kind of scraping the paint pretty good. But that 34 of George Hendricks, good move on his part to take 4 tires. Not one speck of damage on that machine. If he can keep it low and follow Bonwell through, even with a 2-car draft a little bit around here, they might be able to gain some good positioning here. But again, I don't think anybody's got anything for David Washington. Shane Parrish, he'll start either on the inside or outside, depending on how David Washington wants to start this race. We'll see what happens again when we re-rack him back up. I believe they're on 2 to green right now. If that's the case, we'll see him double file restart. Pace car lights will go out next time again. We'll keep an eye on that for you here shortly.
Going back up front, Ray, looking on the back of David Washington's car, it looks like he's got a little bit of damage. It doesn't seem to be slowing down, and he's still pulling away from the back.
Yeah, most of the time, if you can keep your arrow up front and most of the time down a car, and the rear end's got bite, you seem to be okay. It just bends a little bit. The bumper's bent a little bit. It ain't going to hurt at all. Again, we're on 1 lap to go. Shane Parrish will take the outside as David Washington chooses the inside line to restart. Keep in mind your leader has the priority to start the race at any time the pace car pulls off. Doesn't have to wait for the green flag. They're immediately within the restart zone. That is Domino TYJ rules. And David Washington does that well. He doesn't hit the brake or anything like that. He'll just kind of fake everybody out. He'll hit it off the bat. He'll hit it after the pace car goes ahead and green flag, because the thing is, you got to keep your competition guessing, and he does a great job at that here, especially at Kansas this evening.
Absolutely, and if you keep doing the same thing over and over, they are going to catch on to it, and the point being is you want to get the biggest lead possible coming off that restart.
Yeah, keep in mind too with teammates here, what will end up happening on teammates, so they'll be on TeamSpeak like we are now talking to each other, and they won't be able to hear them in the room with the other cars. And you can tell your guys 3, 2, 1, I'm hitting the throttle. So it gives an advantage to your guy behind you or around wherever he is to get a good jump on the rest of the field. The field right now restacking. They'll come around turn 4. We'll watch the pace car lights obviously go out. They've been out for that lap. We'll see them pull off here shortly. Pace car is off the field. Watch David Washington. He'll hit the throttle. Loud pedal is on. Everybody scatters in the back, and we are racing with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, it looks like William Davis in the 5th position spun his tires. That's going to cost him.
He'll actually hold up the field. Shane Parrish will try that high side, and that 12 of William Roberts Jr. will get around the 55 of Ryan A. Hill. A bit of scattering out the back. You guys look like you're trading paint 3 wide down the back chute between the 42 of Terrence Tallarico, the 02, and what looks to be the 18.
Bold move there by the 18, taking it 3 wide, but he's going to make it work, it looks like.
18 coming up the track just a little bit, does not go below the apron. The 42 of Tallarico with a little bit of damage. He got fixed earlier. He'll take that outside line. They'll go door to door, 4, 2, and 2 right now out of turn 2.
Yeah, it looks.
Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, it looks like the 18 is actually going to lose a spot just being down at the bottom. It just goes to show you the top side here is dominant.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, fresh tires may dominate. We'll look back quick at the 56 of Bonwell. Bonwell, fresh tires. He'll get around the 62 of Ellery Queen. At least he'll try that down the front chute. Has the advantage to hold that car down. Now keep in mind with those fresh tires, he can keep it on the floor a little bit longer. Even though the car's buying up, it'll be just the same speed, if not faster, on that low line. He'll get to the front end of Ellery Queen. Queen with the advantage. Door to door down the backstretch, they'll go. Bonwell still trying to hit inside line. Will fall in line behind him. He'll take a shot to the bottom here in about turn 3. No, he'll follow him down through turn 3, hit turn 4, and try it again.
Barnwell does have the fresher tires here, so if I was him, I would make short work of Ellery Queen here.
Oh, absolutely. He's got 5 laps to do it in. Right now, riding along with Ryan A. Hill behind him. It looks like the 0-3 of Dylan C. Jones will take a bold move to the bottom, enough to make about a half car length, almost touch the outside steel of the retaining wall, but not enough to get to it. There's 7 ahead of him, William Davis. They'll take that high side like everybody else is, fall in line. They do not have time to go front to back. They've got to try some bold moves if they want to get some position here at the end of the race.
Absolutely, and looks like our leaders are just staying single file. Shane Paris is trying his hardest to catch Dave Washington right now, but looks like Dave Washington's pulling away by about half a tenth.
First battle I see right now, back to Jones. He'll take that low line. He'll get right on the bumper of the 7, but again, lose a little bit of position because he shook the wheel again, getting it back straight. Lose about 4 positions back. Behind him, Kyle Kamer in the 88. He'll try to get that 6th spot away from Dylan C. Jones. Lots of bold moves. Lap 130 right now. 131 as they cross the stripe. It'll be 4 laps to go. 134 is the goal. Under 5, they've got to take and shuffle up as hard as they can. If a caution comes out right now, what you're seeing will be the finish. Shane Parrish back in that 2nd place spot. Only 6 car lengths behind of David Washington, but he'll try just about another foot down the track, but not enough for the speed to catch that bumper of the 98 machine.
Yeah, Dave Washington, as long as nothing happens, I think this is his race to lose. It looks like these guys are not really driving it hard. I see the 03 of Dylan C. Jones trying to get on the inside of the 7 of William Davis, but as we know, that inside is probably not going to work.
Yes, sir. Right. Sorry about that. Right now, the 66 of Jack Watts is making a move on the inside of the looks like the 11. Buzz Moore, and Jack is going to probably complete this pass, so that is 1 position gained.
Jones ran the bumper of that 7. He wasn't there last time. He'll try the low line again coming out of 2. Every time he does it, he'll go up the track, wiggle the car a little, and lose a lot, unfortunately. Smooth that time, right to the bumper of the 7. He'll try it again in another couple laps. This will be the white flag lap right now at the stripe with Washington leading the whole field.
Yeah, the white flag is out. Dave Washington will take it. Shane Parrish right behind him in 2nd. With William Roberts Jr., your top 3.
Couple guys behind him. Terrence Tallarico to the outside line. The 0-2 right now. Mitchell Reeves will take over that 8th place spot. Fighting back Tallarico down to the low line. Not enough momentum to take it out of there, but the 0-2 skittish a little bit off the corner. He'll loosen up a little bit. Let 42 catch him to the turn 3. As we go up to the front runner of David Washington, he'll come off of turn 4. Leading most of the laps this night in the 98 machine of David Washington. He'll win tonight at Kansas.
Contact between the 7 and the 55 coming to the line. That puts the 7 in the wall. That was all about.
Line it up a little bit. We'll take a look at it and see exactly what happened here on our position anyways. We'll go down your top finishers here very shortly, but it was just basically a bold move right now by the 55, and that'll give him the position. Of course, the 7 just kind of kept the car straight. Went right towards the concrete. At that point in time, he had nothing to lose, so he did his best to keep the position away, but not enough. Ryan A. Hill will take over that position in the top 4, and the 7 of William Davis round out your top 5.
And so Dave Washington wins here at Kansas in the Domino's DYJ Racing Top Shelf Cup Series. Exciting race, fans. We're going to go over interviews with the top 3 in just a few minutes. Ray and Tim, what else do you see behind the top 5?
We'll go down your finishing order here and see exactly what happened tonight. Tell you what, exciting race there at the end, shooting it out. Of course, your first runner, right in first place. David Washington wins another one here at Kansas Domino's TYJ Top Shelf League. Great driver all the way around. Second place, the 81 of Shane Parrish. And third place of William Roberts Jr. And the 12 machine, the 55 Ryan A. Hill. With that last corner pass on the 7 of William Davis, who finishes up 5th. Dylan C. Jones fought all night long, tried to get a top 5. He'll finish 6th this night. 88 of Kyle Kamer in the 7th place. 8th place will be Mitchell Reeves in the 0-2. And the damage machine of the 9th place of 42 of Terrence Tallarico will finish just inside the top 10. The 18 of Jason Cardwell will be your top 10 rounding out finisher this evening. 11th place, the 99 of Colton Salick ran down through. 12th be Jack Watson, the 66. 13th place, George Hendricks in the 34. Buzz Moore, a bit of damage when he was involved in that accident early in the race. Will still take home the top 15 in the 14th position. Josh Bonwell, great run towards the end. Nice try with the fresh tires, will finish 15th. Brandon Cruz-Monsalves actually went back from a lap down to get back on the lead lap to finish 16th this evening. 17th place, Ellery Clean. The 18th place will be Curtis Young in the 94 machine. Eric Stanford will take home 19th place. Again, 12 laps down, unfortunately, ending his night early with a wreck about 3/4 way through the race. Gary Sexton in the 17th will round out your top 20. And 21st on down, the 3 of Mark Jackson, Jeff T. Martin in the 014, and Ryan Matthews in the 51, finishing 23rd this evening.
Thanks so much there, Ray. I think our third place finisher, Tim is caught up with, which would be William Roberts Jr. Take it away, Tim, with William Roberts for the third place finish.
William Roberts, this is Tim from the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, man. Looks like it's Aegis 1, 2, 3 tonight, man. How was your car tonight, man? And how was your race?
Well, the car was good, but actually I'm not Aegis. I got the Credit One Bank car. So Aegis was 1 and 2 though. They were pretty quick. As far as how the car runs, I mean it's Kansas, so we all already know it's high line all the way around, and it blows for kind of television. It blows for the drivers because you just kind of have to sit there and wait. Even if you're faster, you just got to keep being patient and see what happens. Luckily, we got a few positions.
All right. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm thinking of another driver here, man. But you got any sponsors you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lazy Days Racing. It's the team I'm on. I'd like to thank my family for supporting me, and Robert with TYJ Dominoes for putting up this race. It's fun to race. Sometimes it's a little competitive, and sometimes we get a little upset with each other, but it's still fun. And you guys for broadcasting and announcing.
Yeah, William, I appreciate you racing tonight, and congratulations on your third place finish.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, William. I got a quick question for you. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, you more or less dominated the Xfinity race earlier this year here at Kansas. Is that true? You got the win?
No, it wasn't the Xfinity race. It was actually the Cup race.
But you got the win in dominating fashion, right?
Yes, sir. It's all about track position starting out front. After Dave got taken out of that race, we were up front, so we were able to do that. Had Dave not been out there, or had we been in open air started on the pole, I think we would have been able to do the same thing. But it just comes down to you're not able to run the bottom.
Gotcha. Well, I was just noting during the broadcast to watch the 12 car, and obviously you made up every position you possibly could. Great finish for you, William. Would not have shocked me to see you win the race tonight, and you got 2 more chances to get another win and actually get that victory in Homestead. Hopefully, you've already started practicing because it's going to be a fun race. A lot of guys going for the championship. Thank you so much, William.
Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Yes, sir. And I think Ray is caught up with our second place finisher of Shane Parrish.
Shane Parrish, Ray Richard here at Dubuque. How you doing this evening? How do you feel? Second place spot tonight, and I'll tell you what, Aegis 1, 2. Tell me how you feel, buddy.
Well, I feel really good, Ray, and hi, Robert and Michael there. But it was a great race. Just been real patient with what we did tonight. I had a lot of learning. I've never run the Cup car here, so it was a lot of fun. Tire wear and backing up the corners was pretty good. Tough track to pass at.
Now, wait a minute. I got one question for you, and it's a pretty easy answer. Now, I know all the time that we're running these races, you're in with teammates and team speak, like obviously we are right now. And what a lot of people don't know about out there is a lot of cars communicate with their teammates. Now, what was the strategy during that last restart? Were you in communication with David a lot, exactly what was going to happen?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We worked together on the restart, and, Dave's my crew chief, so I'd probably spend a lot of time with him every week. Want to thank him and Aegis and all the guys. Great group to be with, and we had a strategy. We kind of stayed close together there, so we could all, each of us pull each other on the draft and move around, and keep us in a 1-2 position.
Now, I'll tell you what, you did some great driving, especially there towards the end. We watched you come up through the field most of the night. Started in 7th place position, of course, but top 3 is not too shabby. I know you already thanked Aegis. I think your teammates. Anybody else you want to thank this evening?
Well, most of my passing tonight actually came on pit road. The Serpro pit crew did a really good job, and then Serpro on my car, and for what they do for me and my family is just incredible. Anybody out there ever experience water damage, fire, call 1-800-SERVPRO. They'll help you out in your area, or interested in a franchise, feel free to message me here and I can give you all the details.
Bringing it home, second place position this evening, 81 of Shane Paris in the SERVPRO Ford machine. Great job tonight, bud.
Thank you, guys. Thanks to the fans. We appreciate you coming watching.
Yes, sir. Thank you there, Shane. Thank you, Ray. And I think we're very fast here at Dominus TYJ Racing. You're not going to see this anywhere else, but Ray and Tim and myself have caught up in victory lane with our winner tonight, Dave Washington. Tim, I'll let you take the first question for Dave Washington on how he pulled off the win.
Dave, it's Tim up here in the booth, man. Congratulations on your win. I got a question for you. You ever been in victory lane before?
No, first time.
That's what I thought, man. Hey, how was the car tonight?
Car was good. Did a bunch of practice last night with Sexton, Jones, and a couple of the other guys, Eric, and learned a bunch last night. The different track states, the different track temps tonight between the two servers. The first one really helped out. I kind of knew how qualifying was going to go because you got a ton of speed and a ton of grip to put down some really good times. So I learned a bunch between the two servers, and it just helped us out overall. Like I said, I think Shane mentioned it earlier, just trying to keep everybody in tow to kind of try to pull away from the pack because, not helping the teammates wouldn't work tonight. Definitely trying to tow them around.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, man. How did this 107 track temp affect the long runs there? I know you guys had to be slipping and sliding out there.
How you start your runs is going to dictate the end of your run, and we just basically started at a medium pace and tried to maintain that without getting run over. And you just learn after each restart to how much you have to pick it up. And once you find that groove, you get into it, and the car pretty much stays planted.
All right, well, congrats from me. I'll give it to Ray.
Hey, one thing I want to say right now, David, fantastic job this evening, like every week that you do. You do a great job keeping the top 5 most of the time. And since I have the opportunity to say this on air, David is one of our drivers that does a lot of practicing and helps a lot of guys in all of our leagues. And I want to thank you for the assistance you gave me. It actually gave me a top 5 position at Kansas last week when we ran the Xfinity Series. You did a great job tutoring me, telling me how to run the lines. Tell me how your night went, especially at the end. I was talking to Parrish, by the way. He says he was in contact with you in that last restart. Kind of describe this conversation with us a little bit, would you?
Yeah, it's pretty much you try to get ready to. You don't really want to block here because it could mess up your entry. So you can keep an eye on the mirror, but coming to the green there, you just got to pretty much time it. And it's done with saying a word or you just try to give them something so they have something to go on. But not to beat you to that first corner. And so we pretty much got going, and I have a bad habit, and it's helping these guys a lot, is I mirror drive whenever my guys are behind me. It always works out that way where I'm focusing more on them than I am my own line and everything else. Thank God I got Andy to keep me focused though.
I had to laugh at that because of the fact here you are teaching the enemy. It's almost like behind enemy lines, but you still beat the doors off them every week. It's great. Anybody you want to thank this evening before we let you go here, David?
Yeah, definitely. Andy, sitting in the box, D'Amico for sponsoring me. I guess there was a glitch with the paint schemes tonight. I don't know what it is, but hopefully we can get that rectified.
Yeah, not quite sure. I do see the All-Pro Broadcasting hood here on my screen, but I understand he's having an issue with that. But All-Pro Broadcasting, definitely a way to go for broadcasting. Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yep, definitely. Robert for putting this league together, and you guys for commentating. All the guys at Aegis, Shane, Eric, Jones. We got Cameron, Jason Cardwell. There's just a bunch of guys that on this particular night that come out to race at Domino's. And like I said, I'm just a teacher, just trying to get these guys up to speed to where they're beating me every week, and I can sit back and watch and enjoy them racing.
I'll tell you what, we enjoy right up here in the booth too, watching you guys fight it out every week. Number one position this evening, the 98 of David Washington, and the All-Pro Broadcasting number 98 Ford Aegis machine sponsored. Robert, anything else you want to take out of this race this evening? Tim as well.
Yes, sir. Real quick, Tim, what are your takes on this race?
I think everybody did a good job, especially with the track temp the way it was. I was expecting a lot more caution to come out of this race, but we even got to saw a little bit of green flag stops there, so I was impressed.
Yes, sir. We here at Domino's TYJ Racing. We're not the best league. We're trying to be one of the best. And that does not happen without the help of some incredible people like Tim B. Cox, Ray Richard, Michael D'Amico with All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure, fans, you click the subscribe button. Also, we got some incredibly talented and humble drivers like Dave Washington, Dylan C. Jones. We also interviewed Shane Parrish, William Roberts Jr., a whole list of drivers. I could go through Josh Bonwell, Ryan Hill, Curtis Young. The list goes on. Gary Sexton, Ellery, as I know him, as Jay Queen, Colton Salick, Tanner Tallarico. We got a lot of great drivers, a lot of great people that make this happen. It's not one person. It's a whole group of people. So, fans, thank you so much. The winner tonight of the free Domino's Pizza, before I forget, is Christine Franklin. She lives in Nashville, Tennessee. We might even run a couple of races on the Nashville track if we can in 2018. Depends on iRacing, but we would love to open that up. It's going to be a great fun track. Thank you, Christine. She'll be winning that free large 3-topping Domino's Pizza. So for Ray Richard, thank you, sir. For Tim B. Cox, thank you, sir. Michael D'Amico, thank you, sir. This is Robert McFarland. Thanks for watching, fans. We'll be right back here, same time, same channel, next Wednesday night. You do not want to miss it. The Truck Series, Denton Fender Truck Series, Domino's TYJ Racing Denton Fender Truck Series will resume their final 3 races for the championship. You do not, trust me, you do not want to miss it. If you thought tonight was a great show and this is a tough track, you just wait to see the trucks next Wednesday night for the 2 races to go, 3 races before the championship. Thank you, guys. Thank you, fans, and everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Just twist the throttle on back and feel no pain. From the open highways, backwoods of the country, where live free or die is the only way. On my 2 wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.